All right, good morning. My name's Tony, and this is James. We work for U.S. Facility Solutions. Today we're going to show you how to easily install Gen 2 riot glass on a facility here in Gainesville. So to get started, there's a few things that you would need to help you get started. You would need a couple of drills with a 5/32 drill bit, a drill with a 1/4 inch drill bit. So you would want to get a T20 security bit. It's the one that has the hole in it. A good tape measure, a good caulk gun, a razor knife, and a couple of clamps. Also, you would need a chop saw that has a good blade on it that you can be able to cut aluminum with. Usually, I like to go with the Diablo blade. You know, it's a 96 tooth. It works the best. It gives you a cleaner cut and this and that. As you see, we have a table set up. We have two different tables. We have one cut table, and then we have a table to do the seals that goes into the track, which we will get into all that in just a second. Also, you would need a ladder that would correspond with the job that you need. Here, we're on a slope. So what we've done, we have fixed a 2x4 to our ladder so it holds onto the frame so it does not push up on the glass to cause any more damage. Okay, so first we're gonna start by setting out our frame and figuring out what pieces are what. So today we're starting on window number 6. We have already got the other windows done, so we're gonna start on number 6. In your riot glass package, everything will be numbered window 6. That's going to be for your horizontal framing package. And here's your height. That's your vertical. Okay. So here's all your pieces for the bottom of your window and the top of your window. So these two pieces are going to be the cover pieces. So we'll set these to the side. So on your Gen 2 package, you'll have a piece that looks like this, and then you'll have a piece that looks like this. All right, so first and foremost, what we're gonna do, we're gonna measure the bottom of our window here. So this is gonna be a full frame Gen 2, so the framing sits on the inside of this guy right here. So basically, we'll pull it down. This shows that we have about 37 7/16. So we want to give ourselves a little bit of room to play with. So we will cut this one at 37. So it'll be fine, and it's easy to have a little bit of room to work with because you have sometimes adhesive and stuff that's in the corners that'll make it hard for you. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do is I've made my mark here. I take the two pieces that go together and I kind of just line them up and cut them both at the same time. Always make sure you're wearing some kind of eye protection because of course this throws off a lot of aluminum and stuff like that, and you don't want to have any eye problems. So we make our mark, we double check, and then we go ahead and make our cut. Now, once we make our cut, we will take this piece here. We would come down. You will see that these two pieces kind of slide together, and it has a little track that it sits into. Once it sits into that, you would square it up. I use little pliers here to be able to hold it. I crimp it on here. Okay, once I have this crimped on here, you would want to make sure that this is locked all the way in. It's kind of hard to see here. But if you look at it from this angle, you will see how the two pieces lock together. Once you have those two pieces locked together, you would take a 5/32 drill bit. What I usually do, I usually lay it on its side, and then you'll have a little line right here. You'll take your 5/32 drill bit, you would come 1 inch from the edge, and then you would drill a hole. You would go all the way through both little pieces. And then you would drill holes every 6 inches down, and this is what fastens the two pieces together. Okay, so I'm only going to drill just a few holes here so you can get an idea. These holes are 12-inch off center, so I know when I come back I would have to put an extra hole here, here, and here, so all these holes will be 6-inch off center. Once I do that, then I'll take my one piece, set it to the side. I'll take my other piece, I will stand it up, and if you notice here in the middle, there's a little line. You want to take your 1/4-inch drill bit, same thing, you want to go 1 inch from the edge, and you want to drill a hole in the bottom of it. And then you would do this every 6 inches. Okay, so you have 3 types of seals that go on here. This seal here that looks like this is what your armor plast is going to sit on. So basically what you do, you just cut you a little couple-inch piece. And then if you notice in the track right here, that this will sit in the track. So you put one here, and you can put one down here. It's just normally like a normal glass block that you would do when you would do an insulated glass or even a laminated glass. You would put your glass blocks in. Once you get these put in, we'll go ahead and put the other one in. Now once that we have those in, you have 2 other types of seals. You have this type of seal here. This one's gonna go on this big piece here. So basically to do that, of course it has a channel that it fits into. You take that and you start putting it in the channel, and then you slide that bad boy right on in, all the way to the end. So we go about all the way, and then we cut off our access. Now on every other piece, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take our 5/32 drill bit, and then we're gonna put 3 little holes on the back side of this track. These little holes keep the glass from fogging up. If you don't have these holes in there, whenever the heat and moisture, it'll make the glass in between fog up. So we'll drill 3 little holes. These are basically vent holes. 1, 2, and number 3. So now that we have our 3 little holes, our little air holes, we can pull our gasket down to the end and stop. Once we put our pieces together, the glass will stop at about this area. Now we take our outside piece, and then we use this type of seal right here, and we slide it in the track the same way. We take this bad boy and we slide it all the way to the end. You know, if you guys have better methods on how to put this seal in or just like that, don't be afraid to try new things. So now that we have that in there and this in there, so this is basically what our track is going to look like. We'll put it in right there, and as you can see, this is where your glass is going to set. So now that we have our pieces and we're ready, we would take and we would move this one, set it to the side for right now. in-house James is going to apply sealant to the bottom. All right, go ahead and stop. Okay, now that we have our adhesive on here, we'll take our bottom piece. What I like to do to make a good reveal is I'll take my piece and I'll go right to the edge of the glass. I do kind of set it back just a little bit for your beauty piece. And then what I do is I split the difference from the gaps from each side. Once we do that, then we put in our Phillips head self-tapping screws through the holes that we drilled to fasten this bottom part in. Okay, now that we have our bottom piece in and secured, and we have our top piece in and secured, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a measurement to get our vertical pieces. So basically, you would go from the top of here, and it's gonna be the same on the top. You would put your tape measure to that, and then you would measure it. So here it shows that we have about 80 7/8. So we're gonna cut this one at 80 1/2 to give us a little room to work with. Okay, so now that we have our bottom piece in and we have our side piece in all the way around and we have it all fastened, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and clean the inner glass. What we usually do, we take a razor blade scraper, we'll scrape off any kind of, caulk or debris that's stuck to the glass. Then we'll take our Windex and then we'll clean our glass off as best as possible with the lint-free rag. Once we get that cleaned and ready, then we're ready to set our armor plast. Okay, so now we're ready to set our panel. So we are on window number 6. As you can see, whenever they send it, it will show what number it is. This will be panel number 6, and it'll give the measurements that were given through the survey. So it has a front film, and then it also has a back film. All right, so now that we have our panel and we have our suction cups on it, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna come on the back side, we're gonna pull the film down about 3/4 of the way, and then we'll take a lint-free cloth and then we'll wipe it down. All right, so as you see, we have our armor plast stuck in the hole. We have it sitting on the blocks. It's kind of hard to see that, but we have them sitting on the blocks. We split the difference from each side, so it's the same all the way around. So now what we'll do is we'll take our pieces that we done earlier. We would pull this up just a little bit, kind of stick it. Then what we do, we take our piece, we stick it in our track and lock it in. And then the holes that we drilled earlier. All right, so now that we have our armor plast in the hole, what we do, we'll stick this in, we'll let it lock in, and then line up the holes. And then we'll take our security fasteners, and then we'll put our security fasteners in there to help hold the glass. We will do this at the bottom, the top, and then we will do the sides. Now that we have our bottom piece fastened, now we will move to the top. We'll pull our film down a little bit. Then we will take and then we'll fasten the top. All right, so now that we have all of our framing up, we have all of our screws in, now we'll put in our beauty strips. What I do to help myself out, I'll take and kind of slide it all the way to the edge. I'll put it up here. I'll make a mark right here on the edge of the frame. And then we'll cut this piece. All right, so now that we have our piece cut, you'll have this fat edge and you'll have a skinny edge. You'll take your fat edge, it has a little edge on it that locks into this top groove up in here. So the easiest way I've done that, you stick it up to where it kind of grabs, and then you could almost push this in. I take a little dead blow hammer and just tap it, and you'll feel it start locking in. just like that. Now what we'll do is cut our other pieces, get our other pieces put in, then to the next step. So once you get all your outside trim pieces on, and you go through all your windows and make sure that everything looks good, everything's tightened up, everything has a good reveal, whenever you're completely done, what we do now is we add the decal. And that, my friend, is how it's done.